Hi, folks. I just read something that was quite heartbreaking, really. Beautiful as well, but heartbreaking. I was looking up the song Liberian Girl by Michael Jackson, and yeah, a lady from Libya spoke to a music station in America. No, the Washington Times she spoke to. And she said the Liberian girl was so astonished to hear a great musician like Michael Jackson thinking about a little country in Africa. She said it gave us hope, especially when things went bad. It made us to feel that we are still part of the world. Well, straight away I was thinking, oh, to think that you're not. And so when I talk so much about the way the church is, this is why. This is why. You have the option of providing the world with God. And yet, instead, you provided the world with what? Yeah, basically the world, but from a worldly version of Christianity. And some safe space, cancel culture, comfortable, easy path church that is leading people to exactly where they were going before they had any idea of God. And that's what you're doing. When I look at the people, Jeff Oakes, Mike Heron, Mr. Harris, Rick Harris at the Community Church of God, Manuel, who was at the Community Church of God, and when I look at what they bring, Manuel praying that God would help the hospitals and the doctors deal with COVID and cancer, and he's the pastor of a Pentecostal church. Yeah. And in truth, if anyone wants to ever say to people like that, F you, I can completely understand why. You have a chance to bring God. And what you bring is worse than nothing. You bring a road to hell, but tell them it's the road to God. And it's not good enough to say that people are where they are. But there is truth to that, but that's still not good enough. As I say, when you look and say, you have the same scriptures that I have, I can see quite clearly that the Son of God said we're supposed to pray to the Father because Matthew 6:9-10 says that. It says it obviously, clearly, without any shadow of a doubt whatsoever. I can see that you're supposed to be worshipping the Father. Because at the well, he tells the woman, in the future, and now they're supposed to be worshipping the Father in the Spirit and truth. Right? As if 2,000 years later, we're not in the bloody future. You've made it so that 2,000 years later, we're still not counted as in the future. Because you still want to be religious about it, don't you? Eh? You still want to make it into a religion rather than a walk, rather than a way of life. You still want to make it about something that it's not supposed to be about. Even though quite clearly it says you're wrong. When you have a worship conference and you say it's all about Jesus, and in you alone, Jesus, we trust, it's bloody obvious that you're wrong. And so to me, I'm disgusted by what I see. Because, as I say, the areas of abuse, spiritual abuse is by far the worst. Because when you're telling people you're leading them to God, but you're actually leading them to hell, by the time the consequences come, they are knackered. Now, let's be real. Come on, for a second. Having said that, let's be real. I don't know. I can't say for any degree of certainty whatsoever that anyone who goes to hell could have gone to heaven. I can't say that. I can't say with any certainty that that's the case. But what I can say is that it is the case. I fully believe this to be the case. Anyone who has done gardening will understand that this is the case. That bad ground can be turned into good ground. Can be. But not in churches where it's safe space, cancel culture, easy path, because then you don't give a crap about the ground, because you don't give a crap about fruit. You don't even try to change the ground. Because as far as you're concerned, everyone there is bearing good fruit, even though there's no evidence of any of that whatsoever. But you don't want evidence. You don't want to ever look at evidence because you know that there isn't any. So again, the Vineyard Church looks at some Easter egg hunt and says, well, there you go. We're obviously doing a good job because hundreds of people came for their children to be entertained by us and us to give them free Easter eggs. Really? That says you're doing a good job sharing God, does it? No. It says you did a good job doing what they, as parents, should be doing. Entertaining their children. So, of course, a lot of parents are going to love the idea. They come along to this thing and you entertain their children for a couple of hours. Oh, they're going to love that. Does that mean you're doing a good job sharing God? That these people have a better chance of avoiding hell for eternity? Nope, not at all. And I don't think seriously anyone at church is going to claim that that's the case. So therefore, no. Doing that doesn't suggest you've done a good job. Then again, are they going to do a good job? I don't know. Hopefully. Hopefully. And are the other churches going to turn around and get right with God? Probably not. No. No, the reason why they're not is quite simply if they're giving themselves a pat on the back, telling themselves they're doing a bloody good job already, why would that change? No, as I say. Don't look bright.